The most important.
It is. But again, back to what I said earlier, it starts with sharing your truth with yourself, right? So it's interesting. I think back, I 2 hours before my wedding, I knew I should never have married my ex-husband, right? I knew it, and I couldn't share that truth with me. I'm like, nope, I'm silly, and went down the aisle, right? Same as, I mean, I had overcome addiction to drugs in my teens, spent for myself, only to fall back into that rat trap. And as I'm drinking my second bottle of wine at night, I'm like, no, I don't have a problem. I'm happy as a clam, right? Like, because it's really easy for us to lie to ourselves. It is.
Mhm.
And so that's why I love accountability. I hold myself accountable, but I also ask other people to hold me accountable, over silly things, because even and I've done this work since I was 14. I've been studying psychology, theology, philosophy, fitness. I've been doing this a long time. But if I am in an emotional state, or if I am in angst or uneasy something, it's easy for me to be like, maybe today's not the day that you should show up and speak in front of that audience. And I need somebody to be like, Kerri, that's bull crap. You can do this. You're just feeling your feels. Get your ass out there. So, you know, being honest with yourself, and then communicating your needs to others. And others may not always meet those needs. So my family cannot meet my needs. My immediate family can absolutely not meet my needs. However, in me sharing my truth, I was able to identify that. I didn't personalize it. I was able to recognize that that is where they are, and I can love them where they are.
Mm.
But I also was able to find a community that was able to meet my needs. Find your community if you don't figure out who can't meet your needs, because that's the first thing, right? If my ex-husband can't meet my needs, I need to ask for them to find out he can't, and then make a choice that's going to nurture me and make me feel supported. And subsequently, obviously, I ended up divorced, but that's not always the case. Sometimes the husband's feeling just as unfulfilled, and you go out on a couple dates and you reignite that flame.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that goes back to checking in on whether or not that serves you.
Yes. Yes. And
Being
that should be an everyday, multiple day type of thing.
yeah.
You know, does this feel good for me right now? And then if not, why? And this goes back to judgment, right? Because this is what happens. And we have intuition. We know what's good for us, but our logic kicks in. All right. And a good example, kids know no adults they don't want anything to do with. Yet as parents, we're like, oh no, that's Aunt Sally. You go give Aunt Sally a hug. No, Aunt Sally's a real bitch. And this kid is trusting their intuition, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
so true. And that happens to us all the time. So we'll go into a job interview, and it's a job where it's a promotion. We're gonna make more money and all of this. And then what happens? We get in there, and the energy's off. We feel it. It doesn't serve us. But because it's a promotion, it's more money. We work super hard. We don't listen to our truth. We're like, nope, I'm gonna go for it. And then you end up kicking yourself in 6 months because you're miserable again.
Yes.
So honoring yourself, really being able to say, this doesn't serve me, and not having to explain yourself or have a reason why. There are a lot of times when I will walk out of the situation, and I don't owe anybody an explanation. I owe my soul an explanation. I owe it to myself to feel safe in my own skin.
Mm.
And that goes to creating boundaries. So when we're speaking our truth, nobody has the right to yell at you. Nobody has the right to make you feel safe. If you are ever put in a position where you don't feel comfortable, you have every right to extricate yourself from that situation. I don't care if it's a boss. I don't care. And too often we sit in that, and we allow people to treat us poorly because We've been conditioned that it's poor manners, it's bad behavior. How dare you show up and advocate for yourself? And that to me, so when we're talking about our subconscious is always listening to us, right? So I study neurolinguistics. How we talk to ourselves matters. So if I'm saying I feel gross, but I stay in that situation, I'm telling myself subconscious, I'm not worthy of extricating myself. And that repeats the
Mhm.
pattern. So you just got to disrupt it. You got to just walk away. And if people are mad, let them be mad. That's their problem, not yours.
Yes. 100. All
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, if you did not catch that last part,